Hi, this is Susan Young, author of 7 Steps to Pursue Your Passion, a creative solution for choosing your profession. I designed these steps with you in mind, and my goal with this interview is to share with you how my guests discovered a profession pursuing their passion by following these same 7 steps in my book. I hope you enjoy the interview and learn the importance of understanding who you are before you choose what you want to do.
Have you ever thought about being a health coach? Susan is going to give us a behind-the-scenes look at how she discovered her passion for nutrition. Susan, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do and how you got into the profession?
Sure. So it started about 8 years ago. I was working in the fashion industry and had a very, very demanding job. And I was dealing with some of my own health issues, and through frustrations with those, I really started to dive into my own research and kind of figuring things out for myself. And as I started healing myself, it really sparked a passion in learning more about nutrition and how the body works and how I could help others.
And so when you looked at how you learn, how did you go about acquiring all this knowledge? Were you interviewing people, or you said you did a lot of reading?
A lot of reading, yeah. I on average read probably a book every week to 2 weeks. And I read online video, online courses. I love to learn. It's probably my favorite thing to do in the whole world. And I can sit for days and read.
Okay, so you enjoy learning visually through reading. And when
Exactly.
you thought about how you were going to apply this knowledge, did you think about what your preferred method of applying it would be?
As I was trying to figure all of this out, there were many different avenues I could have taken, but what comes really naturally to me is writing and kind of speaking, and not so much just speaking at people on stage, but kind of working with people in groups. I get a lot of energy from a group atmosphere with interaction. I also love using the internet as a vehicle. So teaching via online courses. I love interacting with people online more so than over the phone or one-on-one.
Okay. And when you think about your natural abilities, like what natural abilities do you have that make you good at this? Because, again, you have to know a lot about how the body works and food and, is this something that you've always been good at, or, even writing ability? So what natural abilities would you say you have that you really bring to this profession?
I would definitely say I can retain a lot of information when I'm interested in subject. And I think just naturally when I'm interested in something and I'm seeing results, it makes me really want to dive deep and learn more. And I also think I love being able, I think naturally I communicate better when I'm able to get my words on paper and kind of see them in front of me, more so than when I'm just trying to teach through my mouth, if that makes sense too.
Yes.
It helps me to formulate thoughts better.
Okay. So you enjoy the writing process. And how about
Yes, I love the writing process.
How about interpersonal skills? Are you good at kind of understanding people, drawing them out, helping them overcome their fears? I mean, do you like kind of that, dealing with other people's, what they're going through?
I do, actually, and that's something that has definitely always come naturally to me. Sometimes I used to feel like I had a sign on my forehead, like, tell me all of your dirty secrets, because people just tend to open up to me. And I think I have a pretty good read of people, too. I can usually kind of pick up on how they're feeling and, how to make them feel comfortable or how to make them feel like they can talk to me. So I do like working with people in that vein, but I still get a different kind of energy from working within groups.
Right. Okay. And so now we'll get into the next topic, which is personality. How would you describe your personality?
Okay. I'm introverted in the sense where I do not mind being alone. I never feel lonely. And I love just being alone with my ideas and my thoughts, reading, writing, and just kind of daydreaming, whatever. I can get lost, and it's like time doesn't exist. But I do have moments where I like to be social, and I love to engage people. I love to lead people. So it seems like, for a while I'll have these bouts of being alone, kind of like creating in a way, and then it's like I'm ready to kind of put it out there to the world. And that's when I love that energy of kind of leading or engaging other people.
Would you say you like to inspire people?
Yes, I'd love to inspire people.
Okay, so you get energy from that. And when you think about the specific activities that you do as part of your profession, you touched on them, but go over like what a typical day or week would be like for you as as somebody who's kind of incorporated the things you're good at. What are the actual activities that you do?
There's definitely a lot of research and a lot of writing because even though, I've been certified and trained and I've been learning this for 8 years and have put most of it into practice, that's, how I helped myself. There's still a lot of, when I'm ready to even write a blog post, there's still a lot of research that has to be done, and you want to make sure, you're saying things right and you're crediting people the right way. And, I'm a big believer in giving people juicy content that they can really use. So you definitely need to spend a lot of time reading and researching. It's also kind of, I kind of work with my moods in a way. So I might be in like a creative kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Idea phase, and I might go, exactly, for like 3 days like that. But then I might not feel like doing anything for 2 days, and I don't force myself. I try to really work with how I'm feeling. So maybe for those 2 days where I'm not getting a lot of work done, that'll be a day where I run errands or I go visit someone who I'm meant to be seeing. So I love that flexibility that this kind of gives me, this lifestyle gives me.
Right. And what about doing the coaching and stuff? Do you feel energized by doing that as well, like the group things, and are you looking forward to doing that more?
Yeah, so I have a couple of live events coming up, and I've just started, I'm still in the brainstorm idea process of that, so that's really exciting. I'm actually working with 2 other people on that, so that's been really energizing. And I'm just about to launch my website, which is also pretty exciting for me, so that's definitely...
To really get your voice out there. To really get your voice out there.
Exactly.
So now when you think about contribution, there are a lot of people out there teaching about nutrition. There's hundreds of books. What makes you different, and what problem do you think you're solving and your approach is different than other people?
So my approach, I'm coming from, I dealt with my own things, and just knowing that there's so much information out there, it was very frustrating. I had to do so much experimenting on myself and a lot of trial and error to figure out what really works and what doesn't. And also to learn, actually, there is no one right diet. There is no one way of eating. And that's where a lot of people are getting tripped up. They're looking for this one magic human diet, and it's not possible. It takes a lot of work to figure out, what's right for you, and just giving that awareness to people and letting them see that, it doesn't have to be so hard, and teaching them how. I feel like, that's huge, because in this day and age, in this country, our health is getting worse, and people are really looking for answers, and they're not getting them from their Western allopathic doctors, so they're starting to turn to themselves to help heal themselves, and I really want to help them in that process.
So basically what you're saying is your approach is a more customized approach where people have to kind of try something, listen to their body and see if it's working, but you're kind of giving them the principles of what to use.
Exactly.
Is that fair?
Yes. I help them. I give them the tools. I show them what I did. I'm not trying to tell you that the way I eat is right for you, but I can tell you this is what I experienced, this is what I did to make it better, and this is why. And then give them the ability to figure out their own walk. And
how do you feel about dealing with people that are on medicine and the like? Do you feel comfortable helping them maybe reduce their medicine and that type of stuff? Do you have enough training to be able to do that?
No, I would never do that. That is definitely something you would want to handle with your physician.
Okay.
Actually, my sister is on a lot of different medication and has a lot of health problems, and I would never tamper with that, but I do show her how to build her health from the ground floor up. Because a lot of times when you're eating right, your body is balancing it. So your body wants to heal. So once you learn, the techniques to help it do that, and you give your body the tools to help do that, a lot of times you find that you don't need the medicines that you once did. So I would never tell someone to go off medicine. I don't even recommend supplements. I think you should be tested for supplements as well. But
I see. Okay.
if you create the health at the core, at the root, then sometimes you don't need them. Often
right.
You don't.
That's exciting. And what would you say makes it rewarding for you?
I guess, I love working with motivated people who are, ready to get to the root of their problem. So I think when I see them actually putting what I'm teaching into practice and getting the results, and healing and just feeling better. Like if I can tell you a small thing that can help you feel better, that's definitely, doing something for me too. You know what I mean?
Yes, you feel that energy coming back to you. And that kind of gets into the next step that I talk about, which is people. When you think about the type of people you like being around, I mean, you just touched on it now, but what type of people do you really enjoy working with that you feel, that you like to help?
So working with and helping, actually across the board, I like to be around optimistic, positive people who take responsibility for themselves. So whether I'm working with someone, like right now I'm collaborating with a yoga instructor and a chef, and they are both very optimistic, very positive, very solution-oriented, great attitudes, and, I feed off of that. It's inspiring for me. I inspire them, and I feel like that's where you get the big results, and it's the same for people I'm helping. It's a very different energy when I'm working with someone who just has an excuse for everything of why they can't do this, why they can't do that, how they tried this, doesn't work, and they're just kind of throwing their hands up before they even dive in. It's a much more draining energy than when I'm working with someone who is gung-ho, ready to learn, knows that they have to do the work, but if they do the work, the results are phenomenal. So
well, that's good because
that's
you
where
talk a lot about energy,
Exactly. So that's kind of the energy that I feed off of it, and I'm very conscious about it too. I have no problem turning people away, and I seek out the people that want to help.
Right, because you know what you had to go through in order to improve your health.
Exactly.
Okay, and when you talk about lifestyle, what is it about this lifestyle that you like? Because when I teach people, I talk about lifestyle is from the days of the week you work, whether you work nights or weekends or holidays, like in some professions, where you are physically, do you work from home? Are you out at, people's homes or doing workshops at different locations? And again, what is the environment like that you're working in? Are you working in a home office? Do you have an office somewhere? So tell me a little bit about the lifestyle of your profession.
Okay. Another part of why I chose this, not just this profession, but the actual business model that I'm using, being online, is because of being location independent. And like my office is my Mac, and I can take it wherever I want to go, and I don't have to worry about being tied down. I don't have to go into the same place every day, which I used to do, and I can't even tell you, it drove me crazy. My old lifestyle was a huge part of what was hindering on my health. I worked crazy hours. I had a very demanding job, like I had said earlier, and I had it. I wanted to wake up without an alarm clock. I want to work with my natural body's rhythm. Like if I'm feeling creative, I want to be creative. If I'm feeling tired, I want to have the freedom to be able to curl up with a book or take a nap, Right. That's definitely high priority for me. And I don't, like I said, I really just work from my laptop, and that is huge for me.
And what about the days that you work? Do you decide when and if you're going to work or whatever?
There are times when I will work through the weekend just simply because I'm inspired, and then there are times when I, work. I kind of go, like I said, I really go with the flow.
Right.
I have a deadline, of course. I definitely deadline oriented. So I sometimes need that pressure to finish a project. But as far as just the day to day, it's kind of how I'm feeling. Mornings tend to be my most of times, I guess, and also I tend to write in the mornings, whereas afternoons I tend to do, I'll run errands or do tedious work, answer emails, and I also tend to interact with people more in the afternoon. So I kind of like my mornings to myself, and then if I have to do any kind of interaction, it's usually when I'm ready to socialize in the afternoon.
So one of the big attractions is the lifestyle of the profession.
Definitely. And I mean, there are many different ways you can work this profession. If I was doing one-on-one coaching, that's something very different. I feel like that's it. I feel like we did a good job there.
Okay, great. So now if people want to learn more about what you do, what's the best way for them to contact you?
Definitely check out my website. It's WTFShouldIEat.com. And if you want to reach out to me directly, you can email me at Susan, SUSAN, at WTFShouldIEat.com.
Great interview. Thank you so much, Susan, for this information. I'm sure you're going to be helping a lot of people with this.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Hi, this is Susan Young. I hope you enjoyed the interview. Now I want to ask you, are you passionate about your profession? During the interview, I covered the 7 steps you need to follow to discover a profession pursuing your passion. To learn more about my system, go to professionprepacademy.com.